intelligence. If he's got a gun and badge as his defense, my offense is my rights with intelligence. Colors on our nations, just a semblance. Babylon's wall will fall with intelligence. I'm back. More sheep, more iron, more heads in the hands and front mics crying, more props. Big up yourself, you sellout agent. Stop that, the light nodding to this in your conveyance. General Khalid Muhammad said he's a Moor. Fake Nuwapian say don't put L after your. Fake NOI burn Elijah Pool Bay pics. All you could do is break my bones with stones and sticks. Toronto, conscious coon town for boule clones. No entry with a felony, lectures over the phone. With intelligence, hence we don't break, we bend. Send energy back and forth in sequence, forth and back. Most don't want me on a track. I tell rappers about their tight shirts and showing ass cracks, not actions. Ignorance makes you a sinner. Get out from under and understand conscious beginner. Become energy dinner or appetizers. Speakers beg my flow to come through the amplifiers. With no mic check, few takes through mic wires. Gas rappers co-defendants or gas liars. If he's got a gun and badge as his defense, my offense is my rights with intelligence. Colors on our nations, just a semblance. Babylon's wall will fall with intelligence. Some call the racists having us in their pens cause of your ignorance and no intelligence. Colors on our nations, just a semblance. Babylon's wall will fall with intelligence. Alchemists on beats, no full metal. Rapping dummies, glaring ignorance wells and sea pebbles. You got nothing, frontin' like it's precious stones. Think you got money cause they gave you a loan. In the mirror, do you see X or P Newton? Do you see a black or more or a European? Do you see a Trimbegonian or Jamaican? Or a member of Earth's first population? What do you see in the mirror? A goddess like T or a sellout? Supporting Master Hill figure? Ask in the mirror, how you look at straight vainness? Negro see the God but act in apeness. Some look and see wives of self-shapeshift. Some look and find the truth in eyes dark places. Revlon and Maybelline fake faces. Makeup can't hide ex-slave mental cases. With blonde weaves, that's not bad of course. Forgot to mention Rome, blonde hair identified horse. We are not guilty but want to be innocent. Guilt is responsible, intelligence. If he's got a gun and badge as his defense, my offense is my rights with intelligence. Colors on our nations, just a semblance. Babylon's wall will fall with intelligence. Some call the racists having us in their pens cause of your ignorance and no intelligence. Colors on our nations, just a semblance. Babylon's wall will fall with intelligence.
Welcome back to This U.S. Open Office Plan.
Miller just lobbed a message way over Jones's head using some technical jargon.
What?
The shadow boxing, the shadow boxing. You close-minded, then you boxed in. The shadow boxing, the shadow boxing. Perfect your craft, become a marksman.
Levitate, this hoverboard rap. Thank me now, you're welcome like a floor mat. Beat my format, tarot deck, I sort that. Pulled the magician, now you see my forecast. Royal Palace in the crystal ball. I'm a fully spitting bullets, that's John Wall. We dialing up classics and it's on call. How you bounce back after the fall? That's a question. We building, not finessing. You got complaints or suggestions. Decided law is my reference. Y'all decorate, the essence is my preference. No hesitation with the demonstration. On my back is where you find the nation. No hesitation with the demonstration. On my back is where you find a nation. Shadow boxing, the shadow boxing. You close-minded, then you boxed in. The shadow boxing, the shadow boxing. Perfect your craft, become a marksman. Shadow boxing, the shadow boxing. You close-minded, then you boxed in. The shadow boxing, the shadow boxing. Perfect your craft, become a marksman.
Step into this ring, the gods of war sing. Drum steady pounding to the bloodstream coursing. Heed their warning just before the sword swings. Move north 4 degrees, avoiding its sting. Listen to their voices, sight unseen. Quiet all the noises, focus on just being. I am one with the breeze. breeze that eases through the trees. I am one with the earth underneath your feet. I am water walking land in the form of man, the king of Siam. I am that I am. I'm that fire that's burning deep inside your heart. The synchronized senses moving your body parts smoothly with fluidness, highly intuitive. Knew the movements of your fist before you even did. With each step left, right, feeling oddly compelled, because the shadow box with God is to spar with the self.
Shadow box, the shadow box. You close-minded, then you boxed in. The shadow boxing, the shadow boxing. Perfect your craft, become a marksman. Shadow boxing, the shadow boxing. You close-minded, then you boxed in. The shadow boxing, the shadow boxing. Perfect your craft, become a marksman.
Recognize your dark aspects, I don't mean skin tone. Outside truths in the house, demons you bring home. Outside clothes on your bed, sleep with a night hat. Paralysis when you sleep, dreams every night bad.
The shadow box, the shadow box. You close-minded, then you boxed in. The shadow box, the shadow box. Perfect your craft, become a marksman.
Levitate, this hoverboard rap. Thank me now, you're welcome like a floor mat. Beat my format, tarot deck, I sort that. Pulled the magician, now you see my forecast. Royal Palace in the crystal ball. I'm a fully spitting bullets, that's John Wall. We dialing up classics and it's on call. How you bounce back after the fall? That's a question. We building, not finessing. You got complaints or suggestions. Decided law is my reference. Y'all decorate. The essence is my preference. No hesitation with the demonstration. On my back is where you find the nation. No hesitation with the demonstration. On my back is where you find a nation. Shadow boxing, the shadow boxing. You close-minded, then you boxed in. The shadow boxing, the shadow boxing. Perfect your craft, become a marksman. Shadow boxing, the shadow boxing. You close-minded, then you boxed in. The shadow boxing, the shadow boxing. Perfect your craft, become a marksman.
Step into this ring, the gods of war sing. Drum steady pounding to the bloodstream coursing. Heed their warning just before the sword swings. Move north 4 degrees, avoiding its sting. Listen to their voices, sight unseen. Quiet all the noises, focus on just being. I am one with the breeze that eases through the trees. I am one with the earth underneath your feet. I am water walking land in the form of man, the king of Siam. I am that I am. I'm that fire that's burning deep inside your heart. The synchronized senses moving your body parts smoothly with fluidness, highly intuitive. Knew the movements of your fist before you even did. With each step left, right, feeling oddly compelled, because the shadow box with God is to spar with the self.
Shadow box, the shadow box. You close-minded, then you boxed in. The shadow boxing, the shadow boxing. Perfect your craft, become a marksman. Shadow boxing, the shadow boxing. You close-minded, then you boxed in. The shadow boxing, the shadow boxing. Perfect your craft, become a marksman.
Recognize your dark aspects, I don't mean skin tone. Outside truths in the house, demons you bring home. Outside clothes on your bed, sleep with a night hat. Paralysis when you sleep, dreams every night bad. Subconsciously suppressed aspects, acts called job. About negative behaviors, unravel is done. See the deepest trauma and guilt you push away. Causes depression, addiction, and anger you display. Identity is central to the practice of magic. Witchcraft help you rewrite and conquer your habits. Detrimental to the growth, exploring the shadow self of man. Learn the lesser banish with pentagrams. Get a black candle, a pen or a pin. Scratch shadow emotions and let the healing begin. Light it and meditate, burn it down to the end. It's locked in. This is what we call shadow boxing.
Shadow boxing, the shadow boxing. You close-minded, then you boxed in. The shadow boxing, the shadow boxing. Perfect your craft, become a marksman. Shadow boxing, the shadow boxing. You close-minded, then you boxed in. The shadow boxing, the shadow boxing. Perfect your craft, become a marksman.
Here we go. Raka, no star. That way, in your still step here, Canaanland moves.
Read our VP every day. Uplift the V cause we are base. We enforce the law and we obey. Forefathers from before is still today. Reading my Quran and my Torah. Universal laws in more rays. Read 4 chapters, receive it 4 ways. Great divine love rules our verse. Before I circle blocks, man, I circle 7s first. You bust the image, but your rhymes hurt. Declare 13 disrespected earth. Love, but it's all in God's plan. Today's mathematics don't judge a man. Unity of life, embodiment of truth. I'm responsible for every deed, cause I seen the proof. No, but Drew X, do I have to draw it out for you? Cause nationality is not a color I can use. Jerry Spruce, standing on my square, even without shoes. On the highest authority, spirit of blue. Marcus Coffee, whirlwind times 2. The world's in the wind when the trumpet blew.
Stand up, go into your bathroom. If you got a big floor to steer a ceiling, cut the light on and stand and take a good hard look at yourself. You are the worst government, you know, and it took me a long time to get to understand that concept. I self-law am master. If I can govern myself, if I can govern my household, that's what I should be doing. Why should I walk out of my door and then leave everything that I know about myself in the house to go out and adopt something that I have no knowledge thereof?
Here we go. Raka! North Star!
That way, in your still step here, Canaanland moves.
Read our VP every day. Uplift the V cause we are base. We enforce the law and we obey. Forefathers from before is still today. Reading my Quran and my Torah. Universal laws in more rays. Read 4 chapters, receive it 4 ways. Great divine love rules our verse. Before I circle blocks, man, I circle 7s first. You bust the image, but your rhymes hurt. Declare 13 disrespected earth. Love, but it's all in God's plan. Today's mathematics don't judge a man. Unity of life, embodiment of truth. I'm responsible for every deed, cause I seen the proof. No, but Drew X, do I have to draw it out for you? Cause nationality is not a color I can use. Jerry Spruce, standing on my square, even without shoes. On the highest authority, spirit of blue. Marcus Coffee, whirlwind times 2. The world's in the wind when the trumpet blew.
Stand up, go into your bathroom. If you got a big floor to steer a ceiling, cut the light on and stand and take a good hard look at yourself. You are the worst government, you know, and it took me a long time to get to understand that concept. I self-law am master. If I can govern myself, if I can govern my household, that's what I should be doing. Why should I walk out of my door and then leave everything that I know about myself in the house to go out and adopt something that I have no knowledge thereof? That's sense. So we need to stop asking that question. I ask myself this question: if not me, then who?
Death and wisdom, my friends, intelligent creatures, guardians of sacred knowledge, Olmec features, secrets of the afterlife, manifest the present day. Dirty mortals and scoundrels lose their heads in a pleasant way. Deceit and deception, negative past thoughts, keeps awareness on point. Spirit messages never off. Inner realizations, encounter the higher selves. Next plane existence explains my consistence. Without a foe, you never know, so path most resistant. Divinity, my twin flame, side chick and mistress, metaphysic, Kabbalistic, Almaroc mystic, patriarch, papistics, make my thoughts sadistic, so indigenous, call me Americanistic, invoking the ancestors, Saracen cryptic, suns on rotation, flows ecliptic, shatter all illusions, reveal the realistic, sitting in the dark, holding the light marvelous, recognize the artifice, skin so carbonous, hair so antenna, I feel them from Vienna, myriad of virtues, lessons, in reptilian henna, enlightenment seekers won't find it in mainstream, focus as a laser, stay balanced like a beam, not even a gymnast, whenever I flip this, as above so below, get out when within this, don't think I'm a slave cause I speak in English, Drew Ali the water, watch your flames get extinguished, living in your higher lower self is relinquished, reputation of master teachers, call it distinguished.
Yo, Grand Sheik, man, these fools is pissing me off. I already told you not to entertain these fools, man. What's wrong with you?
You know I got them.
Yeah, I know, but, you know, it's getting to a point where I'm ready, yo. It's just some button cut shit I'm on, bro. Straight button cut.
The scope.
Any violation, you already know what it is. I ain't even into no long talking, and I even have to bring the thing for them, but, yo, them fools, y'all have to know their self and know their place.
You guys are killing yourselves. Always looking for a way out. Only way out is your hard work. If you don't do it yourself, it's not gonna happen. You're not gonna sit there and fucking listen to sellouts that's gonna help you get to where you need to get to. These weave-wearing, fat, lazy people.
Tongue scimitar left the sheets, dirty Moors are beneath, replace.
Yo, Grand Sheik, man, these fools is pissing me off. I already told you not to entertain these fools, man. What's wrong with you?
You know I got them.
Yeah, I know, but, you know, it's getting to a point where I'm ready, yo. It's just some button cut shit I'm on, bro. Straight button cut.
The scope.
Any violation, you already know what it is. I ain't even into no long talking, and I even have to bring the thing for them, but, yo, them fools, y'all have to know their self and know their place.
You guys are killing yourselves. Always looking for a way out. Only way out is your hard work. If you don't do it yourself, it's not gonna happen. You're not gonna sit there and fucking listen to sellouts that's gonna help you get to where you need to get to. These weave-wearing, fat, lazy people.
Tongue scimitar left the sheets, dirty Moors are beneath, replace the mother's head. Have a carry their wreath, traders with cockeyes and coffee-stained teeth, smoking a bogey. Wrote a book with Rami, thought he's my homie. Now he's flying cartoon flags, dancing like a drag queen. Whale face, when you look up what a fag mean. Camera L, big face, look up treason. Saying the Canaanland, but not seeing at Temple 5 meetings. Using our address to disrespect is callous. See me and look down, eye contact leaves him paralysis. Moors begging to light them up like Aurora Borealis. Instead of dropping rolls on them, drop a Moorish palace. Hulk smash to dust, blow away like blunt trash. Trader Moore so dirty, lips have a cunt rash. Claim they leave the station, saw the punks pass. Butler Moore's claim consul general flashing a badge. Made in China by a Taj Street dick rider. Selling false promises or die by witch fire. Burned at the stake under a heaping pile of Mahdi. The smell would be disgusting, but make me happy. Don't drink enough water, watch how the lips chappy. Lying on Drew Ali, belly yellow like Aki. When dirty Moors ambush, they spit on, but never slap me. Not even a punch. These online talking shit punks. Using Zooms to sell a package. 35 racks, violate Zodiac and Divine. 35 straps, tied to a pole. 20 more for selling your soul. Use a fire hose when trolls spraying the trolls. Head kicked like a field goal. See me like a peephole. Keep you part and partial so you never be whole. Online scholars nowadays play a unique role. Sell a package to the right more buried in a deep hole. Wrapped in plastic, call them Snickers. Using my name to upload titles, got them triggered. Zombified in their lives, Out eyes, fallen skippers. Abandoned Moorish ties to be spies for vicars. Ladies in the red dress call Hayes and Callaways. If they had obeyed, they wouldn't be dragged through the alleyways. I'm not cordial, thrown in a portal for immortals. Negro bystanders think it's paranormal, but it's formal. We don't argue or quarrel. Dirty Moor should get touched for acting clitoral. Stroked when provoked, sellouts wearing the yoke, tilling the lands on bare hands and knees for jokes, or calling the clan. Deliver a sellout to the grand wizard, or make them lick a frozen pole during a blizzard, or waist high in a fish tank, piranha is richen. On my Clint Eastwood, I can't stand niggas. Don't wanna mirror Moors and act like slave pitchers. Watch for dirty Moors, they move like snakes slither. Treason committed, under torture, quick to admit it. Cleverness of the righteous surprises the wicked.
Sitting on the couch all day, just sitting here telling y'all what to do. And y'all just sitting here fat, watching them, paying for these dumbass packages. There's no sugar coating. That's what it is. That's what's happening.
Actually, lucky thing I don't have much more room to talk. I had enough to say too, you know. You guys ain't fucking with none of our leaders, bro. Not our Grand Sheik, anybody. And today Jamal got free up too. Rise of the Moors, you know what it is. We all over, worldwide, universal. Islam.
This is what it feels like. 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 People running up to me that I don't know. Are you a prince? They ask, tell them I'm from Morocco. Look me up and down with a smile, not a frown. Turn their brain to water, watch the lower self drown. Wanna touch my antennas and steal my energy. Eyes bulge, telling them I'm always King Edward V. When it comes to facts with Moors, they get beggarly. They ask Morocco where? The farthest northwesterly. With every question asked, I respond cleverly. All dependents won't explain expertly. Going in their wallets, pull out pictures with feathers, breaking down the ring, then the mason confesses. He's at 33 degrees, now the combo stretches like yoga into esoteric metaphysic lessons. When my people aren't like me, he impresses. When we take Moorish science to the highways and hedges. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like.
He tried to get you to think again. That's the prophet. I'm upright, don't need a friend. And you can't stop this. I'ma write with my pen. Violate me and I'ma sentence again. Remain cautious, cause often it's in again. That's in the police out, just the silence men. When they bust through your door, you won't breathe again. Nationality will show you how to live again. It can change the predicament you're living in. You can heal the whole world without medicine. Only truth can make you a better man. Why lie? Cause you got paid to murder men.
This is what it feels like. 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 People running up to me that I don't know. Are you a prince? They ask, tell them I'm from Morocco. Look me up and down with a smile, not a frown. Turn their brain to water, watch the lower self drown. Wanna touch my antennas and steal my energy. Eyes bulge, telling them I'm always King Edward V. When it comes to facts with Moors, they get beggarly. They ask Morocco where? The farthest northwesterly. With every question asked, I respond cleverly. All dependents won't explain expertly. Going in their wallets, pull out pictures with feathers, breaking down the ring, then the mason confesses. He's at 33 degrees, now the convo stretches like yoga into esoteric metaphysic lessons. When my people aren't like me, he impresses. When we take Moorish science to the highways and hedges. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like.
They tried to get you to think again. That's the prophet. I'm upright, don't need a friend. And you can't stop this. I'ma write with my pen. Violate me and I'ma sentence again. Remain cautious, cause often it's in the get. That's in the police out, just the silence men. When they bust through your door, you won't breathe again. Nationality will show you how to live again. It can change the predicament you're living in. You can heal the whole world without medicine. Only truth can make you a better man. Why lie? Cause you got paid to murder men. Then you try to lock them up when they riot in. That's okay, cause for freedom I'm diving in. With no knowledge you come back to die again. Resurrect me not, cause I'd rather be one with Allah.
This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like.
Common sense was made before book sense. Canaanland Moors presents Common Sense Quick.
Legendary, bury me in the North Gates Cemetery, February the 4th days. Son of Mary, day ahead of my born day. Independence and law make civil literal lost case. With case laws, we break them down like Jericho. Keeping all my lions tamed, I'm Chris Jericho. I'll keep a mask on deck, I'm Rey Mysterio. Fake pandemics announced over the radio. Annoyed with the game, the joys and the pains. I'm Rob Bass, mix it with rock the hard way. I was in a lost state. Prophets told me up right, brought me to a lost gate.
Common sense was made before book sense. Canaanland Moors presents Common Sense Quick. Common sense was made before book sense. Canaanland Moors presents Common Sense Quick.
Legendary, bury me in the North Gates Cemetery, February the 4th days. Son of Mary, day ahead of my born day. Independence and law make civil literal lost case. With case laws, we break them down like Jericho. Keeping all my lions tamed, I'm Chris Jericho. I'll keep a mask on deck, I'm Rey Mysterio. Fake pandemics announced over the radio. Annoyed with the game, the joys and the pains. I'm Rob Bass, mix it with rock the hard way. I was in a lost state. Prophets told me up right, brought me to a lost gate. Cooking like I'm Salt Bay, prepping like I'm Denzel. Malcolm X, Deja Vu, Roman J, Israel. Had no but I lay in plain sight, but people still can't see it, so the snake's still showing up. Stakes still high, so the race still going up. Warriors of the North Gate, we not slowing up. Born in the manger, sworn to be savior. Walk through the valley of the shadows of the death, different slavery. Looking for light, the book of Genesis. Astroplane entrances, invoke the nemesis. Abstract images of past lives kicking in. Danger, running for your life. Finish him.
Morris or Moor, key man or oracle. Using Trinity powers, decipher allegorical. Lost and metaphorical, holy books are metaphysic. Facts slap a dirty Moor or a Drew Ali critic.
Common sense was made before book sense. Canaanland Moors presents Common Sense Quick.
Legendary, bury me in the North Gates Cemetery, February the 4th days. Son of Mary, day ahead of my born day. Independence and law make civil literal lost case. With case laws, we break them down like Jericho. Keeping all my lions tamed, I'm Chris Jericho. I'll keep a mask on deck, I'm Rey Mysterio. Fake pandemics announced over the radio. Annoyed with the game, the joys and the pains. I'm Rob Bass, mix it with rock the hard way. I was in a lost state. Prophet stood me up right, brought me to a lost gate. Cooking like I'm Salt Bay, prepping like I'm Denzel. Malcolm X, Deja Vu, Roman J. Israel. Had no but I lay in plain sight, but people still can't see it. So the snake's still showing up, stakes still high, so the race still going up. Warriors of the North Gate, we not slowing up. Born in the manger, sworn to be savior. Walk through the valley of the shadows of the death if it's slavery. Looking for light, the book of Genesis. Astroplane entrances, invoke the nemesis. Abstract images of past lives kicking in. Danger, running for your life. Finish him.
Morris Omar, key man or oracle. Using Trinity powers, decipher allegorical. Lost and metaphorical, holy books are metaphysic. Fact slap a dirty Moor or a Drew Ali Craig. Calling him Thomas or Walter and get your face caved. Or cut like a close shave. Drowned in my brain waves, squashed by heat waves. Activating Kundalini. Abyssinia invaded by Mussolini. Selassie I in exile. Reptile in Genesis, niggas appearing real. All I see is false evidence. DA are feminists, stomped on by elephants. More like we're prejudiced but want Moorish benefits. When you feel the cold magnetic resonance. Apis horns of the sacred book called Maleficent. Great cosmic mothers, return to blessedness. No pestilence, ace all the testaments. Tap into remembrance, never to forget again. Use energy right, not put spell effects on men. Wandering the earth plane with no they live shades. Keeps you a mental slave as the horizon fades. It's been decades since Christian crusades. Not enough rebellions, too many vigil bouquets. Holding on to the fence, burning on doomsday. War ruled by Mars, it might be on a Tuesday.
Canaanland Moors presents Common Sense Wiki. What we do here is we add some common sense thinking to everyday situations or comments that may arise. Want to give it a try?
Stone aguanya son of people, eh? How are this?
This is a specialty dish from Hubei.
Dish?
China exploding stir-fried river stones. It's a tough dish, and you might wonder if your teeth will survive. Of course, you don't actually chew on the stones. The chef adds various seasonings, and you suck on them before discarding them.
Yo, no man, listen to me. As a matter of fact, you know, normally would have cuss somebody like this. Would have cuss the man and would have say, you're an idiot, you're a fool, you know no sense, you're a jackass. But me not cuss him because him a do madness and people are bite. So the people them where bite are the mad people them. I wanna an idiot, I wanna a fool. You think me could have ever walk down the road and hungry and see a man on the side of the street and sell rockstone, season pan rockstone, and me I go buy it and suck pan 2 rockstone. Yo, no bother with that. No bother with that. Let me tell you something. Message to everybody out there in 2025. You're not supposed to broke. You're not supposed to broke in a 2025 because if a man can sell some season rockstone and you now get up and find something to do with your life, you're workless. You workless. Go and go sell something. Go and go sell something. Find something to sell. You must find some other rockstone. Get some rockstone from Jamaica and make some jerk rockstone and sell it. Because it will sell. This is proof that there's enough mad people in this world with money that will make you rich.
Decir que la historia es una mentira completa. ¿Por qué? Los últimos 1000 años son una mentira en la historia.
Cuéntanos la verdad.
Si tenemos tiempo, porque son 1000 años.
Muy brevemente, ¿cuáles son las mentiras más importantes de la historia?
Si tú te vas a los mapas antiguos que llegan hasta el siglo XVII, todavía el XVIII, hay un gran imperio que abarca todo el norte de América y todo el norte de Eurasia que se llamaba Tartaria. ¿Por qué no nos dicen en los libros de ese gran imperio tártaro?
¿Por qué?
¿Por qué? Porque generaban energía libre y limpia, gratuita. Y además no nada más alimentaba chimeneas, máquinas, lo que tú quieras, focos para tener la luz, sino además alimentaba al cuerpo. Todavía hay un zoológico en Alemania, en Berlín, en donde están las construcciones que se usan para captar esa energía, y tú vas ahí, todo el mundo está contento, las jirafas no envejecen. Es un ejemplo vivo todavía. Y han sido las guerras y catástrofes creadas las que han destruido todo lo que había en esa arquitectura genial que le llaman el Renacimiento. Nada de Renacimiento, eso ya estaba ahí. Eso no se construyó en el Renacimiento. Eso todo está inventado. Desaparecieron. Las escuelas jesuitas editaron los libros de historia que después se volvieron los textos oficiales en todos lados, y el darwinismo le puso más y Freud la acabó de joder.
Casi nos vamos, Roña. ¿Qué nos dices? Dile algo al auditorio antes de irnos.
Pues que miren, que busquen, que se informen, no se dejen engañar. Porque además a lo que quieren es que los lleven a todos ustedes a una gran decepción. les van a elevar los ánimos por los cielos y luego los van a dejar caer. Si las mujeres quieren ser, de veras, salvaguardar este país y a sus hijos, y los hombres también, tienen que mirar hacia los bancos, hacia quiénes son los dueños del dinero y cómo lo manejan, lo que es la famosa economía y cómo, sí, el financierismo puede acabar con un país en 5 minutos o levantarlo. Depende de las negociaciones que se tengan entre nuestros líderes y ellos. Y la mayoría, pues, es por corrupción. Así que ahí es donde tienen que estar los ojos, no en si pues, tenemos derecho o no tenemos derecho a abortar o no. Lo que tenemos que es enfocarnos en quién es el verdadero enemigo, los bancos.
What the elites are
They have leaked Donald Trump's plan to crash the market. This shit's crazy. This was posted last month on the 11th, and you can pause and read, but it pretty much just says that Trump is purposely trying to crash the stock market. That'll force the Fed to slash interest rate and refinance the debt near 0%. He also highlighted the game he's playing with tariffs. One day he's at 25%, the next day he doesn't do it. It's just causing
Islam Moors, honors to all. Honors to all. Supreme honors to Noble Drew Ali. Honors to Noble Drew Ali. When they had a stock market crash, there's never really any talk about a certain individual that was around in the Americas that reclaimed the vast estate of the Moors. And this man took a trip to Havana, Cuba, 1928, to attend the Pan American Conference. Saw the nations of the Americas meeting up. And it's very interesting that they're talking about stock markets crashing and tariffs and all that stuff. And then you could go to Amexum Almanac, just YouTube search Amexum Almanac tariffs. And then the video is going to pop up, then go watch that. But what is known is that Secretary of State for U.S. government, people are talking about that's them and part and partial of them and all that stuff, right? Attended the Pan American Conference. And was made privy to this mandate. This mandate that Noble Drew Ali is the man. You give him anything he wants, says the world, to the U.S. whoever's. Because remember, all the American whoever's had the backing of the world. Because of colonization. Everybody knows these people did it. It's just like one of the Moors sent me a thing about a Palestinian mad because the Jews don't want him at the Jewish Community Center. And they're talking about, oh, well, the racism, we can't, that's their stuff. That's their Jewish stuff. Where's your Palestinian whatever, so you can go to that? Same thing that we're saying to the Negro black coloreds. Because if they said that they were Canaanites, they wouldn't be having issues with some Israel or whatever. Because that's Canaan. That's not no Palestine. But they played wardship games, and then now when the wardship's crampling down on them, now they want to talk about, they make up some new stuff and call themselves that and get some rights under that and all that. Playing Negro black colored games. As a result, a closed-door conference between several nations was held in Geneva, Switzerland, and a labyrinthine series of discussions and negotiations began. The Geneva conferences went on for some 5 years, but records are still kept sealed to this day. It is known that several international banks called in their loans as a result of this potential legal threat, and the stock market crashed in 1929. What stock market? Does that have anything to do with the people, or is that their stuff? Because remember, there are no birth certificates and straw man and all that stuff back then. You're not talking about none of that. Oh, people, just free. Ain't nobody saying, "Oh yeah, you got some ID to say something." Stock market crash, 29. And didn't you just hear what happened at the Pan American Conference? That it crashed because these people took the loans back because they realized these people are fraud. Because here's the true air right here. How you been saying that you're the man, showing treaties with Morocco and all that? You're showing all that stuff when the man's right here. This is the heir to the vast estate. Who are you people? They lost all their credibility. And to date, they still have zero credibility because they're not the indigenous people. The Moors are. But Moors want to play Negro black colored games, and then when they're Moors, they want to play dirty Moor games and cause confusion games. Instead of being right and exact, you want to play around. You want to play around. So the stuff been crashed since 29. And the heirs are the Moors. But Moors want to be Negro black colored and everything else instead of being themselves. And everybody else is coming here with their nationality and taking the Moor stuff. Just taking it just because Moors abandoned, because they want to be Negro black colored and want to keep debating about who we are. Still just accepting the fact that we're Moors so we can get something done. Well, no, then that means work. And people don't want to work. Everybody wants to sit back and just be online to make their 80 million a year. So they can go throw ones at strippers. And people are starving and people are murdering each other, and these people are playing around. And then the people, just like the rock eaters, right? They're gonna go buy some seasoned rocks. The dummies are the ones that keep this stuff going, that everybody's complaining about. The stuff crashed in 29. Why are you still talking about your slaves and all that stuff, and they owe you for reparation? Their stuff crashed in 29. They're bankrupt and insolvent. What reparations are you getting from these people? What are you talking about? They're bankrupt. They have a debt clock counting how much they owe. What are you talking about? Credit cards and all that stuff. What credit are you talking about? Like the math teacher said, put something in the credit bucket. You got credit? All right. See that bucket right there that says credit? Put some credit in there for me. Let me see. Since you got so much credit. The stuff is crashed already. Been crashed since 29.
It's in the hands of the Moors if they want it. But Moors want to be Negro black colored. So all right, I guess they don't want it. And everybody else is gonna come here and they're gonna use their nationality, pretend to be Moors. I'm seeing the Greeks celebrating that they got free from the Ottomans, and then the Greeks are standing there with looking like Moors, tassels and all that. So you don't realize it's the same people against the same people all the time, and that's how the votes sway. Because these modern Europeans are going to look out for each other. They don't care about you. But then you're not going to work with your brother because we're saying that we're Moors and we're standing on principles for real. Life principles, that we're applying this to life. What we know. This is not just some stuff that's on the shelf. Like these other people who don't have a nationality and they're saying that, oh yeah, they got it figured out. They don't even have a prophet. How they got it figured out? They don't even have a prophet. They don't have a holy book. They're using somebody else's book to say that this is the book of the whatever. Stop the madness. Drew Ali did it all, and nobody gave him his honors. Everybody played around like they were the man. Didn't give him his honors. Played like he's the man. And then his prophecy is going to manifest. His prophecy is going to manifest. Right? Now, this is going on right now. That on top of tariffs and all that stuff, he's putting in orders to get rid of the Black History BS. Same thing that Noble Drew Ali told these people in the 1920s, the exact same thing. It is most earnestly hoped that this would not be compared to any back to Africa BS, because we're not Negro black colored. We're Moorish Americans. We have a culture. We're not dumb nigger. We're not stateless. We have a nationality. We have nationals of our nation. And you'll see them when you see those feathers and turbans and all that stuff with the button and all that, that's them. Right? Just like when you see yarmulke, you know who that is, right? When you see yarmulke, who's that? You think that's an Arab when you see yarmulke? No, you don't. And we know they're a fraud and all that stuff. We're just using them because they're the best example of a fraud being a nation and everybody falling for it. They're a perfect example. Which goes back again to the rock eaters, the dummies who fell for this BS. And then they have the scripture right there, told them who the synagogue of Satan is. Told them right there. Now they're complaining that people are acting like Satan. Why are you mad? That's Satan. The son of Satan is that's Satan, right? Oh, but the son of God is not God though. Oh, all right. Keep playing around. Drew Ali told you these Europeans gonna tell the truth. I didn't vote for him. I don't care about whatever he's part of, involved in. I don't care what he's talking about. Okay. The rock eaters put him there. They want to debate Mars instead of getting with the program. And then going back. I just remembered. Going back. The Moor said that it was for the chat. Right? But that thing, that anger thing, like that frustration thing because of our people's incompetence. That's why there's, outlets
for you to shake those stuff off. Right? Just like the stuff is virtual reality. So if it's any type of social whatever, that's BS. That's virtual. That's not reality. That's virtual. That's not real. That's all that is trolling. And all the other stuff that they're making up to as markets now. It's all just BS. Where your feet touch, that's what's real. Where you touch and you engage with and you listen and you're able to comprehend and have discourse and all that stuff, that's real. The virtual BS not real. So don't let that draw you into that thing. All that is just shake off. You know when the gets out the water and just does just shakes off? Because trust that in the other realms, we're the Moors that snap and make fire and all that stuff. In the other realms, we're the Moors on the carpet. Right? Here, this is just, just the soul to experience. That's all. I'm gonna be mad at. Seeing all these dummies is it's for the experience. Soul's just experiencing this. That's all. It's like people see some all caps in a comment or in some post or something like that, and then they're thinking anger. Why are you thinking anger? It's just all caps on. It's just a button on the keyboard. What are you talking about? Anger or something? That's virtual. It's not real. We have to release that. However, you gotta release it. God forbid it's not, released in somebody's face because they were kept calling you black or whatever like that, playing dumb, like they don't know what's up. Like they haven't been told 50 times what it is. Right? No, it gets. It gets. Yeah, if it's all caps, you yell it. Banging the keyboard, yelling at the screen, like, what? Are you nuts? People are fried. Right? No way. And the virtual thing? No way. Impossible. Shake all that BS off. Because this is just the experience. The soul's experiencing this. Whatever it is you go through here, that's not real. That's the soul just experiencing whatever it's supposed to experience. Take with it what you need. And the Moors that eat the fish spit out the bones. You could chew up bones and swallow them if you want to. I mean, I'm not saying don't. I would say if you're down with the fish, then just do the fish. You don't need bones and all that. Shooting that up. And what are you doing? It's challenging. Many people aren't up for the challenge. Because you're going to have to check yourself. And again, going back to the fact that Noble Drew Ali told us since the 20s already. We already got all the lessons. We got the lessons already. We should be the last confused people that don't know what's going on. Because we actually have a prophet that brought us the lessons for us to have this thing figured out. Jesus and Barada together, they read the sacred books. Among the Buddhist priests was one who saw a lofty wisdom in the words that Jesus spoke, and it was Barreto Arabo. Together, Jesus and Barreto read the Jewish Psalms, and prophets read the Vedas, the Avesta, and the wisdom of Gautama. And all they read and talked about the possibilities of man. Remember that what Noble Drew Ali brought back, what Drew Ali brought back was what everybody knew already. Everybody already had these lessons. That's why I'm saying Vedas. You think 1920s, some Negro, Black, whoever heard about Vedas before? What do you know about Vedas? What do you know about other prophets and all that? So he was broadening our horizons, super broadening our horizons with again these selected lessons specifically for us. Barada said, "Man is the marvel of the universe. He is part of everything, for he has been a living thing on every plane of life. Time was when man was not, and then he was a bit of formless substance in the moles of time, and then a protoplasm. By universal law, all things tend upward to a state of perfectness. The protoplasm evolved, becoming worm, then reptile, bird, and beast, and then at last it reached the form of man. Now man himself is mind, and mind is here to gain perfection by experience. And mind is often manifest in fleshly form and in the form best suited to its growth. So mind may manifest as worm or bird or beast or man. The time will come when everything of life will be evolved unto the state of perfect man. And after man is made in perfectness, he will evolve to higher forms of life." And Jesus said, "Barada Arabo, who told you this? That mind which is man, may manifest in flesh of beast or bird or creepy thing." Who? Like, who told you this? That's why when it's presented from people, when we're asking who told you 10 grand? Who told you 10 grand for some papers? Who told you in order for you to, you have to? Who? Who was the culprit? Who lied to you? Who lied to you? It's real interesting. It's interesting. Barada said, "From time which man remembers, not our priests have told us so, and so we know." And Jesus said, "Enlighten the rabble. Are you a mastermind? Are you a mastermind? and do not know that man knows not by being told? Man knows not, zero, by being told. Man may believe what others say, but thus he never knows. If man would know, he must himself be what he knows. So if you say you're a Moor, which is a being, then based on what you know is going to determine what kind of Moor you are. Do you remember, Arable, when you were ape or bird or worm? Now, if you have not, better proving of your plea than that the priests have told you so, you do not know and simply guess. And then you have, the Moors who are doing trade right now, and they know. And what they know is the same stuff 80 billion years ago that our ancestors knew about plumbing, fishing, making whatever, doing whatever. They're doing that same thing today. Same measurement. If you're going to push that to there, you need this amount of, it's the same thing, same practice. And they're being what they know. They're not guessing. Regard not then what any man has said. Let us forget the flesh and go with mind into the land of fleshless things. Mind never does forget. And backwards through the ages, masterminds can trace themselves, and thus they know. Time never was when man was not. That which begins will have an end. If man was not, the time will come when he will not exist. From Allah's own record book, we read the triune Allah breathed forth and stood 7 spirits before his face. The Hebrews call these 7 spirits Elohim. And these are they who, in the boundless power, created everything that is or was. These spirits of the triune Allah moved on the face of the boundless space, and 7 others were, and every other had its form of life. These forms of life were but the thought of Allah clothed in the substance of their ether planes. Men call these ether planes the planes of protoplas, of earth, of plant, of beast, of man, of angel, of cherubim. These planes, with all their teeming thoughts of Allah, are never seen by eyes of man in flesh. They are composed of substance far too fine for fleshly eyes to see, and still they constitute the soul of things. And with the eyes of soul, all creatures see these ether planes and all forms of life, because all forms of life on every plane are thoughts of Allah. All creatures think, and every creature is possessed of will, and in its measure has the power to choose. You have the power to choose if you're going to be a dirty traitor or if you're going to be showing allegiance to the prophet. You're going to be a dirty traitor or if you're going to show allegiance to your nation. You're a dirty traitor or show allegiance to everything Moorish. The will gives the power to choose. It would surprise me if a Moor would do right. Is there too much options?
Are you confused what you should be doing according to Noble Drew Ali? You're confused? When we start doing the check marks, how many check marks on good is going to be under your appellation when you go to the gate? When I say good things you did, and then there's the checklist, how much stuff is going to get checked off? Now, when the angel is there with the big golden feather on and all that stuff, telling you about, let me see what you did. How do you use your will? You choose doing some BS, or did you choose to be honorable? And in their native plains, all creatures are supplied with the nourishment from the ethers of their plains. And so it was with every living thing until the will became a sluggish will, and then the ethers of the protoplast, the earth, the plant, the beast, the man began to vibrate very slow. The ethers became more dense, and all the creatures of these plains were clothed with coarser garbs of flesh, which men can see, and thus the coarser manifests, which men call physical, appeared. And this is what they call the fall of man. But man fell not alone, for protoplast and earth and plant and beasts were all included in the fall. The angels and the cherubim fell not. Their will were never strong, so that they held their planes in harmony with Allah. Once you get the lessons, it sets it up for you so that you can figure this out. But people want to know about all this other BS instead of what Drew Ali brought them. Now, when the ether reached to the rate of atmosphere, and all the creatures of these plains must get their food from atmosphere, the conflict came. And when that which the finite mind called survival of the best became a law, the stronger ate the bodies of the weaker manifests. And here is where the carnal of evolution had its rise. And now man, in his utter shamelessness, strikes down and eats the beasts, and the beasts consume the plant thrives on the earth, and earth absorbs the protoplast. In yonder kingdom of the soul, this carnal evolution is not known, and the great work of masterminds is to restore the heritage of man and bring him back to his estate that he had lost, when he again will live upon the ethers of his native plane. And then Drew Ali bringing the estate back and the native plane that we're on. This is our jurisdiction. We had lost it because we were playing Negro black colored. And then the great work of the mastermind is to restore the heritage, which is the obligation of every single Moor that they put people on, that this is what it is, that we're not Negro black colored, that we have a vast estate as Moors. I'm not trying to get you to join some club. This is about restoring the heritage of man, because man debased himself because he wanted to be Negro black colored. And people seem to not want to get the point. And even the European president guy is telling them, get this black stuff out of here. Because everybody knows that it's BS. And then he's racist now. When they're the ones put him in there. Because they want to play Democrat BS as if Democrats is for them. The thoughts of Allah change not. The manifest of life on every plane unfolds into perfection of their kind. And as the thought of Allah will never die, there is not death to any being of the seven ethers of the seven spirits of the triune Allah. And so an earth is never plant, a beast or bird,
or creeping thing is never man, and man is not and cannot be a beast or bird or creepy thing. The time will come when all these manifests will be absorbed, and man and beast and plant and earth and protoplasm will be redeemed. Barada was amazed. The wisdom of the Jewish sage was a revelation unto him. Now, Vidyapati, wisest of the Indian sages, chief of the temple, Kapavistu, heard Barada speak. We stand today upon a crest of time. 6 time ago, a master soul was born who gave a glorious light to man. And now a master sage stands in the temple of Kapavistu. The Hebrew prophet is the rising star of wisdom, deified. He brings to us a knowledge of the secret things of Allah, and all the world will hear his words and glorify his name. You priests of Temple Kapavistu, stay and still, and be still, and listen when he speaks. He is the living oracle of Allah, and all the priests gave thanks and praised the Buddha of enlightenment. Brought back all the lessons so we can figure this out. Well, he also said few faithful Moors and all that stuff. So you already know. This for the two in the back who they realize something's up and something has to change, and change starts with self. So honors to you who stay true to what Noble Drew Ali brought to the best of your ability with all these zombies out here and everything else, vampires and everybody else. Right? Stay the course. This is really about those who in the other planes have their carpet and all that. Right. Honors to all the Moors worldwide, all the few faithful Moors. Noble Drew Ali called you out. We know what it is. Honors to you. Love and peace to all the Moors in the chat. Honors to Noble Drew Ali. He brought us everything it takes to save a nation. Take it and save yourself before you do anything else. And you better be saved before you start going over talking about 500, 5,000 for stuff. Honors to all the matriarchs. Islam to all.